welcome to Divine Sacred Tarot. I am trying something new. It's always good to pivot. I'm definitely feeling that there is recent occurrences regarding ways to strengthen your mindset, Divine Feminines. If you listen to the last message that I recorded, please go check that one out because it was one of my favorites so far. And I've said that a lot, but when the channeled messages come through, they are almost um up to date epiphanies. They're happening in this very moment. And I genuinely feel some of the recordings infiltrate and attach to different other energies that are like-minded, that are similar. So if you have clicked on this message, you probably will resonate with that other message as well. And it was all about path and purpose and alignment, and it was one of my favorites. So this is almost a follow on because I feel that there are many of you who are now observing life as the observer. So it's almost as if you're not just participating in life anymore, you're seeing it through the veil of illusion. And also, you're not um, playing a dramatic part in it as if you did previously because of all your healing, because of the ways that you have focused on yourself, but also because you're balanced in your emotions as well as the healed work that you've done. And I'm seeing as well, like a lot of you, I've done this previously in a meditation myself, and I haven't really exercised it or used it with my clients, but I always try and see any aches in the body, especially if they haven't been diagnosed or, they are phantom pains, for example, if we're holding on to a struggle or something emotionally, it does manifest in the physical body. So this is not diagnosed pain, obviously. This is pain that is undiagnosed, and it could be chronic. And this is a method that I use to help myself. And I would have mentioned it, I think it would have been last year, if not the year before. But just paying attention to that area, just acknowledging it without changing it, without judging it, without implementing any strategies. It's actually just being in the place where you are compassionate to that particular area of pain. And when you're sitting with it, unchanging, without judgment, and then you are pulling in some of the love, compassion, kindness that you would for yourself in that particular spot. Now, it does take some practice. For some people, it comes very, very easily, and for others, it could take practice to fine tune this type of tool. But basically, what I'm seeing is because you've created this equilibrium, because you've created this balance in your current bubble, it is very difficult for others to pull you into their drama. So, because you are healed, balanced, because you're reserving your energy and you're very particular who that energy goes to, people, places, things, you may have even been called to say no to a particular trip or a particular event. And you might have not have known why, but what I'm seeing here is you're learning to trust yourself way more. And funnily enough, I will talk about this card later, but I pulled out a Divine Feminine card, and it's Dakini. She is the enlightened feminine, and it's so appropriate for this current message today because she actually says, when we tend to ourselves, when we take care of ourselves, our gut instinct is wise beyond reason. We can't really fathom logic when it comes to our gut. but it just makes sense. And it may not be logical or clear until the coming days, weeks, months, maybe even years. But the fact that we trust our intuition to guide us, it means we're strengthening our reality. We're creating our reality. We're strengthening our mindset. And this is where we get to really honor our strengths. Like if you already are a positive person, you know you've worked for that positivity. You know you came to a point where you might have been pessimistic, but what was the harm in being kind? What was the harm in being positive? If you're not harming anybody, why not? Why not be more kinder? Why not be more loving and um, positive, optimistic? And for those people who say, oh, you're always so positive, you're always so optimistic. But yeah, because you've worked for it, you've earned it, you've honed that knife of truth when it comes to that positivity. But it also means that at this moment in time in your bubble, when you're protecting your boundaries and your values and your energy, not only are you visualizing a secure, emotional, masculine presence within your own self, this is actually tending to your spiritual self, but you're also probably feeling it viscerally. And you're strengthening your mindset to visualize a secure person, a loyal person, a kind, a nurturing, a person that you know you need, but also that you are those things. And I laugh because that's the whole point of inner and outer union. You can only attract who you are. And sometimes it can be difficult and triggering for people who are in the early stage of healing, who haven't truly accepted that they've attracted a typical partner that has maybe caused them emotional, physical, or spiritual grief. But the thing is, when we attract these partners, it is up to us to learn from them or we repeat those mistakes. So I said to a dear friend yesterday, I said, we either learn from our relationship or we use it as a distraction and we repeat the process. And for those who are looking for a distraction, these relationships will continue and they forget that the anomaly is them. However, that isn't you. That's not you because when you have been through this healing, when you're listening to these types of videos, I said this previously, there's a reason why the numbers on these videos aren't very high because it's going to resonate with very few people who have done the work, who have gone through the healing, who are reflecting a deeper inner union. And you're shifting your subconscious blueprint for love and partnerships. And you're not just calling your divine counterpart in, you're embodying the version of yourself that is ready for them. And when you're focused on, say, meditation practices, breath work, boundaries, this type of energy overflow, it's like I mentioned in the previous reading, the Ace of Cups, the cup overflowing. It's the residual water that helps others. It isn't about pouring from your own cup, it's being at the top of the cup of the champagne pyramid and then you're providing sustenance for those who are on those tiers. And that's when it says, the cup runneth over, and those residual energies will benefit others. But you don't take from your reserve. You're no longer leaking energy, but you're radiating it, you're letting it overflow. And then when you're reconnecting with people in the past, you may have been reconnecting with individuals recently that you've probably known for years, you just haven't spoken to. They may be coming back in your life. And this is love coming back from the past, reminding you that these karmic cycles are being healed, that they are being completed in grace. And so the cards that came through This is Three Trees Tarot. They obviously have their own particular cards, as well as the major arcana. So I class these as major arcanas. And this has come up more than twice, I think, in the recent past. And it's the Tend card. This Tend goes to show that there is this light that is burning from this candle. You may be doing candle rituals, or you may be doing, lighting incense or something that helps you clear residual energy. This light, this flame that lives within you means that you are in this season of nurturing your body, your dreams, the relationships that matter. This is the growth that is sustainable. And yes, it hasn't been easy. You have needed to persevere and be consistent with yourself. But as I said in the previous message, you're preparing the soil for a deep rooted blessing. And you're shedding the expectations of it happening in one way. And that's what surrender equates to. Instead of it happening in one particular way, you're opening the doors that it could come to you in all these different opportunities. We are able to co create our reality. And when we are in this peaceful, loving place with ourselves, we get to strengthen our positivity and our optimism, and we get to strengthen the aspect of us. This is the time to do it, to say, everything is always working out for me. And you're not just saying it as an affirmation or a throwaway sentence. It's coming from the energy of overflow. It's coming from this deeper place of peace. You're honoring those words, and the resonance of which you speak, it lines with your frequency and reality. So the next card that came out, there was quite a few that popped out, was the Lover's card. And yes, it can be about romantic love, but this major arcana is reminding you that it aligns beautifully with your visualization. The visualization that you and your partner are together, you may be in the kitchen, or you may be in the bed, you may be drinking coffee together. Like, these visualizations that you're getting are tempered, they are alchemized through different realities in order to reach you, so you can manifest that reality in this physical state, in this 3D. And it's also reminding you, because you're so intuitive, because you're so loving to yourself, the choices that you're making, the choices about what you eat and how you move and what you listen to and what you watch, what you read, that has to be in alignment with divine. It has to be in alignment with your heart. And this guidance that is being offered to you is what your true soul needs. It is what your soul has been radiating and wanting. It's been telling you in Morse code, but you couldn't understand Morse code. The love over fear, the alignment over ego. And funnily enough, we had the Knight of Pentacles and the Knight of Swords. Now, we also had the Knight of Cups at the bottom of the deck, but I will talk about that a little bit later. But the two knights are here because I really love that one of the knights is grounded and the other is swift. Guys, listen, if you are feeling this energy and you're resonating with this video right now, please do click the like button. It really does help support this channel and these messages. And if you wanted more, remember, you can head over to divinesacredtarot.com. The link is in the description box, and you can join the community if that's something extra that you needed. But always, always, always listen to yourself. But this Knight of Pentacles, this Knight of Swords, I love the embodiment that you're getting. It's showing up because you're being steady. The path before you is steady, it's inspired, it's building the foundation of your new life slowly, consistently, with intentional action. For those of you who are probably embodying new habits like exercising or eating particular things, maybe eating particular times, eating particular foods, exercising particular ways, these 2 nights tell you that you're creating the foundation in the physical already because you're treating yourself how you should always be treated. You're teaching others how they need to treat you. And the Knight of Swords is this mental clarity. Some of you have been getting these epiphanies, these conversations, these insights, and some of you may be even speaking to people in your past that's actually helping you realign with your purpose in a very rapid way. And then we had the Five of Swords and the Five of Pentacles. Regardless of how you see these two cards, these two cards, these Five of Swords, these Five of Pentacles, it's showing up because of what you've healed. This Five of Swords is a lot of mental battles, a lot of ego struggles. The past version of you who fought to be heard, to be understood, to be chosen. The Five of Pentacles, speaking of wounds around your abandonment, being not enough, or even separation from love or support, feeling of being alone. These two cards show up because of all the love that you've poured into yourself, all of the time, effort, and energy that you've poured into yourself, including watching these videos, because you're transmuting these stories now through your thoughts, through the actions of self, through the care that you're showing yourself, and those boundaries that you're putting in place. This is an epic rebirth. And then I'm going to talk about the bottom of the deck. We had the Knight of Cups, so the third knight in this deck, in this reading, and the Two of Pentacles. Now, the Two of Pentacles actually did show up. No, it was the Two of Wands, and I always feel that the Two of Wands is like the blueprint of your future. So this is happening in your current reality. You're seeing visualizations of potential scenarios that could erupt and evolve in your reality. Now, the Knight of Cups does suggest romantic and emotional energy is on the move. This is internal or external. It could be a message or energetic pull from the person that you're imagining. The Two of Pentacles shows you are juggling and integrating these new energies and finding that balance between dream and action, between giving and receiving. And the final card that was the Divine Feminine, the Dakini. She's fierce, wise, liberating, dissolving illusion. This is what I talked about right at the beginning. You're seeing, you're observing, and you're recognizing the truth. You're detaching from all potential outcomes because you're being opened to opportunities. You're at the edge of transformation for some of you, but some of you have already walked through that door. And this presence of Dakini really does signal that you're stepping into that embodied sovereignty. We talked about this earlier. You're not just calling in divine union, you're becoming the channel for sacred transformation. You are the channel for sacred transformation. That's why you need to protect your energy so you can give from the residual energy. And this channeled energy that Dakini provides is with precision. It's protecting your frequency. You're expanding your aura consciously. And these are all the things that are happening at this time. This is a confirmation from this card that your purpose is awakening further into truth, into clarity, and that emboldened divine feminine. But if you're a divine masculine listening to this, you're probably recognizing this evolution of your own inner divine masculine and the balance between your inner divine feminine. Now, this path is the embodiment of sacred union, both inner and outer, just as I mentioned. Your inner divine masculine and feminine. So you're tending to your foundation with love, care, honoring your boundaries. You're envisioning this love from such a healed place, and that's what's magnetizing your reality. It's going to mirror your wholeness, and you're going to recognize it when it comes in. In the past, they always say if the perfect person for you had showed up and you were the unhealed version of you, you wouldn't have recognized them. There's no way you would have recognized and honored the person in front of you because you wouldn't have been able to honor and recognize the person you saw in the mirror. So, with all of these cards, these multiple knights, the lovers, Dakini, they all signal movement. I'm surprised we haven't had the chariot card, to be fair. But this movement, this alignment, this devotion, they're all converging, and you're no longer chasing healing. You are the healing, and everything is responding to that truth. So I hope you guys enjoyed this message. I'm so grateful that I got to channel this beautiful message. And if you did enjoy it, please let me know in the comments box. Like the video if you haven't already, and join the community. Or even if you wanted to request a personal reading, head over to divinesacredtarot.com. I will not ever send you an email or direct message you about personal readings or any offers whatsoever. It's only through the website that I take inquiries. So please be aware of that. And I'm sending you guys so much love. Bye for now.